Well, as you heard last night at the direction of President Trump, U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro attempted to persuade a grand jury to indict us on criminal charges. If things had gone a different way, we'd be preparing for arrest. Fortunately, her attempt failed, and a group of anonymous Americans upheld the rule of law and determined that this case should not proceed. Just to review the bidding, this started with a 90-second video in November that a group of us organized, all of us with military and service backgrounds, simply restating the law in the Uniform Code of Military Justice, that military members had a duty to refuse illegal orders. We said nothing more than everyone from Secretary Pete Hegseth and Attorney General Pam Bondi have said themselves out of their own mouths. For that, President Trump said that we should be investigated, arrested, and ultimately hanged. And that's exactly what he had Pirro and Bondi do yesterday. They had opened an inquiry in December, they carried it forward in January, and when we refused to sit for a voluntary interview, in 7 days' time, they went in front of a grand jury. But to be clear, this is not about the content of this one video. Let's call it for what it is. The president is using our justice system to weaponize against his perceived enemies. I think that we've come to a really sad moment in America where the paradigm of leadership has come in completely reversed. In 2026, instead of looking to our elected leaders like the president as setting an example, it is now up to individual citizens in their private capacity to uphold the values of democracy, free speech, liberty, justice. As Mark said, this is an authoritarian playbook that many of us have watched play out abroad over and over and over again, except now we're seeing it in the United States. Yesterday, 20 anonymous Americans who we will never meet, who made up that grand jury, told us more about the values of America than Jeanine Pirro or Pam Bondi or certainly this president. Small business owners, a mailman, a teacher, we have no idea who they are, but just like people in Minneapolis, the people on the ground who understand the values of this country are the ones currently upholding it. So with those small acts of bravery, our country and our values hang in the balance. Now, this entire episode was really not about us. The president went high and right after our video, tweeted about us 12 times, kicked off both physical intimidation and then legal intimidation. The intimidation was the point, to get other people beyond us to think twice about speaking out. But the real question is, if the president can do this to us, to sitting senators, who else can he do it to? What can he do to a business leader, to a community leader, or to the mom on TikTok who goes viral because she's criticizing the president? We hope that the news today is the end of the investigation, but hope is not a strategy. The president could easily watch this press conference, go high and right again, kick off another cycle of physical intimidation and legal intimidation. So we need to stay on offense, and I think both Senator Kelly and I have kept all of our legal options open as we go forward. Some of you know that I recently lost my father a couple weeks ago, and my father taught me two things. He taught me right from wrong, and he taught me to love this country. Senator Kelly and I have both served our country. We have risked our lives for our country. This country has given me everything. So if we have to sit here and take physical intimidation and legal intimidation to uphold the country we love, we will happily do that. We know right from wrong. Whether you voted for President Trump or you voted for Kamala Harris, we know right from wrong. And weaponizing the legal system against people for basic freedom of speech goes against everything we were taught since third grade, and I'm more than happy to defend it.